This is what most founders are doing right now. They're all building the same OpenAI wrappers and competing for demand. But instead, this is what you should be doing. Build niche AI solutions for a small but carefully targeted group of people. When you say AI today, most of you think about ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. But in reality, there are thousands, in fact millions of small, super specialized AI models available to use, and many of them are free and open source. By fine-tuning, combining, and chaining specific models, you can solve many different niche problems for a small group of users and turn it into a thriving business. Sounds complex? Well, you need a bit of technical understanding, but in reality, you can put a SaaS like this together using just a few tools, and you can do it without having to code. In this video, I'll show you how to approach this step by step. So here's the problem I set out to solve. My team and I produce a lot of video content, but I can't stand generic stock videos like the ones you find on Pexels. On the other hand, shooting custom B-roll for every video is really time consuming. So I wanted a SaaS that could create high quality AI-generated B-roll clips with me in it, simply giving a description in natural language. And that's exactly what we're going to build in this video. A small SaaS tool where you can upload images of yourself, use it to create an AI character of yourself, then use that character to create AI-generated B-roll clips. So this SaaS is solving a problem I have myself. And I know a few other people who have the same problem, but it's not a big market. And that's the whole point. We're building a niche solution for a small group of people here. I suggest you do the same. Use the principles I'm about to show you, but find a problem you have and try to solve that for yourself first. Let's get started. Let's do a quick architectural breakdown. A product like this will have 3 layers. The first layer is a front end. This is the part the user will be using. We'll use Lovable to vibe code this part. The second layer is a backend. This is where we'll store items in a database such as characters and B-roll clips. We'll use Supabase for this part. Finally, the last layer is our AI engine. We need a place to host and run our AI models. We'll use Replicate for this part. So let's get started with the front end. Head over to lovable.dev and we'll give it a very high level prompt to begin with. No functionality yet, just the UI. And after running for a bit, it will set up a new project for us. Awesome, we now have the UI for uploading images and creating a new character. We also have some basic UI for generating a clip and a basic history page. I think the design is pretty on point. I'll take it. Now, as mentioned, we need both a front end and a back end, and for the back end, we're going to use Supabase. And here's the great news. Lovable now has a native Supabase integration, what they call Lovable Cloud. So we can now handle both the front end and the back end through Lovable, which makes things a whole lot easier. So let's just go ahead and click Connect Lovable Cloud. Then enable Cloud here. And then allow Lovable to set it all up. And now if we click the Cloud button up here, we'll see that we have all these things available in our project. These are all the things that make up our backend. Awesome, so far so good. Now, the way this SaaS works is by uploading a bunch of images in a zip file in order to create a character. Now that we have the backend set up, let's have Lovable create this functionality for us. We're going to give it this prompt. And here we'll see Lovable ask for permission to update some stuff on the cloud, including a database table and storage. We'll allow this and all of our backend stuff will be set up. Lovable and Supabase comes with user authentication built in, and it's very easy to set up. So you can do that now if you want to, or for building the POC, you can simply tell Lovable to just assume a mock user for now. That's what I'll do. Perfect. Now, after a bit of working, we should have a form that we can use to create a character. And upload a zip. Okay, seems to work. Let's just verify. If you go to the cloud section here, then go to storage, and then there should be a folder for our mock user. And there we go. The zip was uploaded. Perfect. Now, this is probably a good time to make a quick note that with these types of AI coding tools, things don't always go as smoothly as they just did here. In many cases, something won't work, and you'll be going back and forth with Lovable for a bit until things play nicely. But it's totally normal and not very different from how things would flow if you were working with a team of human developers. So just keep in mind that this is an iterative process and some patience is required. Now, let's move on to the fun part. We need to set up the chain of AI models we'll use for this SaaS. Let's get an overview. When a new character is created, we want to trigger a training job. This will use the uploaded images to create a custom image generation model that can generate new images with the character in them. This process is called fine-tuning. Then, when a new B-roll clip is created, we chain two models. The custom image generation model will generate an image. The image is then fed to a video generation model and used as the starting frame for the clip. We will do this on Replicate. So head over to replicate.com and create a new account. Here we'll use the FastFlux trainer model to fine-tune our custom image generation model. And we'll use Kling v2.1 to turn an image into a video. And I know all of this might sound complex, but don't worry, because Lovable already knows how to use the Replicate library and intuitively does a great job in wiring this together. And I'll show you how. In our Replicate dashboard, let's go get the API key. And back in the cloud section of Lovable, let's go to Secrets and add that API key here. We're also going to take the Replicate username, which is the one you'll see up here, and give that to Lovable under Secrets too. Good. Let's ask Lovable to use the Replicate API to start training our model. This is the prompt we'll give it. And as you can see, we're giving Lovable a few technical details here. And again, Lovable will probably ask you to allow it to create some database tables and update security policies and so on. Just let it do its thing and it will set up everything for you. And if you don't know any technical stuff like this, don't worry. With Lovable, you'll get there eventually. It would just take longer and require more patience. So giving these AI coding tools some technical descriptions really does help a lot. So try to do that if and whenever you can. Awesome. Now, hopefully, maybe with a bit of back and forth, you'll have something like this. So we can now create a character. And it will start training that character on your images. And in Replicate, under the Trainings tab, we should now see our Flux trainer running. After a few minutes, the character will finish and the UI will update like this. Awesome. And in Replicate, we can verify this by clicking over to the Models tab. Here, we should see our new custom model. Perfect. The first part of our SaaS is now working. Now, if we go to the Generate B-roll page, we currently have a form that looks nice but does nothing. This is the next part we need to tell Lovable to implement. So first, we want to get the configuration for the image model. And the easiest way to do this is to simply test it out on Replicate first. So we're gonna add our test prompt here. We'll use a 16:9 aspect ratio. And since we want a bit higher quality images, let's increase this to around 40. PNG, full output quality, and let's run it. All right, there we go. Looks good to me. So let's click over here and we can simply copy all these configurations. Perfect. Now let's use this and give Lovable a big prompt here. We'll give it the configurations here. And again, it's good to remind Lovable how Replicate's API works so it can implement a proper polling mechanism. All right. Again, you might have to do a little back and forth with Lovable if this step doesn't work from the get-go, but you should get to a flow that works something like this. We choose the character from the list. We give it a prompt. We can give it a style, though I don't actually think this does anything yet. And finally, let's run it. And there we go. Perfect B-roll clip of our character, which is me in this case, walking in an office. Awesome, man. Just super cool. And if we go to replicate and click the predictions tab, we should be able to see these two predictions from the API, the one from the custom image and then the one from Kling. Looks like it's working perfectly. And one thing I absolutely love about Lovable is how good it is at filling in the gaps. We have toast messages, spinners, various disabled and loading states, progress bars, and so on and so on. I didn't ask for any of that. Lovable simply figured that we probably would want that. Before AI, we'd have to manually sit and code all of that stuff. And it would take forever. And if we would use a development agency, we would have to explicitly ask for all of that, which for a lot of non-tech founders just isn't something they think about. So they'd get this super half-baked product back because that's what they ask for. Lovable does this extremely well, and I think it's such a cool experience. Finally, let's create the history page. This one should be very straightforward since everything is set up now. And finally, you'll have a history page like this where you can see all your previous clips. And if we go to the cloud section in Lovable, we'll see that we now have a database with 2 tables in it. We have a storage bucket for the zip files, and we have a bunch of these cloud functions. This is basically backend code. Lovable created all of this for us and we didn't have to touch any code at any point. Now, we also notice that we get this warning. This is because we didn't implement user authentication earlier. So if I published this app, everyone could create B-roll clips using my Replicate account, which is obviously a huge issue. So when you see this warning, you should make sure to resolve all security issues before publishing your app. And obviously, it doesn't necessarily need to stop here. In between these 2 models, we could have added GPT-5 to automatically enhance the prompts before feeding it into the Replicate models. And we could have added an upscaling step at the end to get full 4K quality using a video upscaler model. And just about 100 other things. Replicate already has models for a ton of different things. But if you really want to go niche and it's not already on Replicate, you can go to Hugging Face and find an additional 2 million super specialized AI models. Fine-tune them and upload them to your Replicate account. Everything that can be solved with AI is available here. And as I've mentioned a few times now, in this video I've shown the cut down happy path of building a tool like this. In the real world, it's unlikely to go this smooth in the first try, and typically you'll have to go back and forth with Lovable for a bit. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't spin up a SaaS for you exactly how you want it in the first try. And if you want to take a SaaS like this to the next level, you should layer the approach we've discussed in this video with 2 additional layers of AI-assisted coding, which I cover in this video. So go watch this one next.